Hi, Assalamualaikum. We are Group Viders, Group 3, and today we are going to present about the implementation of Firewall in computer. So our group members consist of Nur Laili binti Jamlus, Nur Fansila binti Muhammad Isa, Nur Afiqah Kamila binti Azhar, Nur Shazana binti Muhammad Shamsuli, and me, Nur Efaina binti Safari. Okay, so for the introduction, our society is now being reshaped by rapid advances in information technologies such as computers, telecommunication network, and other digital systems. These technologies allow us to transmit information quickly and widely, linking distant places and diverse areas of endeavor in productive new ways. So the rapid evolution of digital technologies is creating not only new opportunities for our society, but challenges to it as well. So, with many devices communicating with each other over wired, wireless, or cellular networks, network security is an important concept. Network security is the process of taking preventative measures to protect the underlying networking infrastructure from unauthorized access, misuse, malfunction, modification, destruction, or improper disclosure. So there are different types of network security such as access control, application security, firewalls, and also VPN, virtual private networks. So in this report, we are going to explore more about firewall.
What is firewall? A firewall is a software or firmware that prevents unauthorized access to a network. It inspects incoming and outgoing traffic using a set of rules to identify and block threats.
Firewall rules. Firewall rules define what kind of internet traffic is allowed or blocked. Each firewall profile has a predefined set of firewall rules which we cannot change. We can only add new rules to some of the profile. For some profile, we may not be able to add our own rules. There may also be a profile that has no predefined rules, and that allows us to freely add our own set of rules. A firewall rule can be applied to traffic from the internet to our computer, which is inbound, or from our computer to internet, which is outbound. A rule can also be applied to both directions at the same time. A firewall rule consists of a firewall services which specify the type of traffic and the port that this type of traffic uses. When do we have to add a new firewall rule? We may have to add a new firewall rule if we start using a new program or attach a new device to our computer. For example, a WAN device or an IP camera. By adding all the services that the program or device need to the same rule, we can easily turn the rule on or off later, or remove the rule if we uninstall the program or remove the device. We also have to add new rule if we have denied certain type of traffic, but we want to allow it to the certain IP addresses. We can view firewall rule by on the main page. We click setting, then click network connection, then click firewall, then click the rule tab. Next to the current firewall profile, select the appropriate firewall profile. Then we can view a rule list which contain some of information such as name, type, and remote host. Then we can view firewall rule detail. Firewall detail include the name and type of rule, the IP addresses and services to which the rule applies. The alerting setting, then we can view the following information in the rule detail dialog box, such as name, type, remote address, services, alerting, and alert text.
Okay, so I will explain about 4 types of firewall. The first is packet filtering firewall. This is the simplest firewall. It's dealing with each individual packet. The firewall applies its rule set to determine which packet to allow or disallow. This filtering is primarily done at the network layer, layer 3, or transport layer, layer 4 of OSI model. The firewall examines each packet based on source of IP address, destination of the IP address, source port, and destination port. This packet filtering is faster than other packet screening method, and this packet filtering firewall is lack of authentication. Second is application level firewall. It is also known as proxy server. This firewall operates at application level, which is layer 7 of OSI model. For source and destination endpoint to be able to communicate with each other, a proxy service must be implemented for each application protocol. This firewall has higher security than packet filter and allow the network administrator to have more control over traffic passing through the firewall. It may need different proxy server for each service. The third is circuit level firewall. Circuit level firewall monitor TCP or UDP session. It validates TCP and UDP session before opening a connection through the firewall. Once a session has been established, it leaves the port open to allow all the packets belonging to that session to pass. The port is closed when the session is terminated. Circuit level firewall operate at transport layer, layer 4 and session layer, layer 5 of OSI modem. This firewall is more secure than packet filter firewall and faster than application level firewall. Circuit level firewall can only detect one transport layer protocol TCP, and this firewall cannot perform security check on higher level protocol. And lastly is stateful inspection firewall. This firewall uses the same fundamental packet screening technique that packet filtering does. In addition, it examines the packet header information from the network layer, layer 3, to the application layer, layer 7 of OSI model to verify that the packet is part of legitimate connection and the protocols are behaving as expected. Stateful packet inspection compares the packets against the rules of filters and then check the dynamic state table to verify that the packets are part of a valid established connection. This firewall is more secure than packet filtering firewall, but rules and filters in this packet screening method can be complex, hard to manage, prone to error, and difficult to test.
So why firewall is important in a network? Firewall is a vital component of a firm's network. It plays an extremely important part in securing and protecting the firm's network. Firewall protects our computer from being attacked over the internet by hackers, viruses, and worms. Either in a large corporate network or simply at a small home network, all computers have the same security issues. However, by having a firewall in each company's internet connection, it allows the business to set up online rules for the users. For example, with the firewall, the company can control the access to certain websites, giving it the control of how employees use the networks. So everyone must have heard about the word router. Router is a device that essentially connects or acts as a bridge between two or more different networks. When an organization's internet network is connected to the internet, it is usually assumed that the network is vulnerable to threats from external network, which is internet in this case. To solve this problem, usually a system administrator programs set a certain rules in a firewall which are used to evaluate incoming and outgoing data. A firewall has many roles to be played, but it performs two major roles. First, provides defense against external threats by refusing unauthorized connections to the router from potential attacks such as hackers. And second, it blocks outgoing connections from the router. Such malicious software might transmit confidential data back to the hacker, for example, passwords. Only a firewall is able to prevent them from doing so by inhibiting their connection. Therefore, it is important that a firewall is installed and managed by a professional system administrator to provide the maximum amount of protection to your company's network infrastructure.
Install, implement, and set up the tool of firewall. As the first line of defense against online attacker, firewall is a very important thing. So, your firewall is a critical part of your network security. Configuring a firewall can be intimidating project, but breaking down into 5 steps can make it more manageable. First step is secure your firewall. If an attacker is able to gain administrative access to your firewall, it is game over for your network security. Therefore, securing your firewall is the first and most important step of this process. Second step, architect your firewall zone and IP address. Plan out your network structure so that this asset, for example, payment card data or patient data, can be grouped together and placed into network or zone based on similar sensitivity level and function. The more zone you create, the more secure your network. Third step is configure access control list. Determine exactly which traffic needs to be able to flow into and out of each zone. The traffic will be permitted using firewall rule called access control list. Make your ACL specific to the exact source and destination IP address and port number whenever possible. Fourth step, configure your other firewall service and login. If your firewall is also capable of acting as a dynamic host configuration, protocol DHCP server, network time protocol server, intrusion prevention system, and etc., then go ahead and configure the service you want to use. Next step, test your firewall configuration. Verify that your firewall works as intended. Don't forget to verify that your firewall is blocking traffic that should be blocked according to your SAL configuration. After all these 5 steps, there's firewall management. Logs must be monitored, firmware must be updated, vulnerability scans must be performed, and firewall rule must be reviewed at least every 6 months.
Okay, as we know that everything has pros and cons, so firewall has advantage and disadvantage. As we know that major responsibility of firewall is to monitor the passing through it. So we know that firewall can monitor traffic, protect against Trojan, and prevent hackers. So I will share about detail about access control and better privacy. Okay, for access control, access policy in firewall can be implemented for certain hosts and service. Some hosts can be exploited with attackers. If users feel that they need protection from this type of unwanted access, this access policy can be enforced. Okay, last one is better privacy. Okay, hacker constantly look out for privacy information for getting clues about the user. But when you use firewall, many of the services offered by the site can be blocked. Hence, hacker are no chance of getting privacy details. Okay, for the disadvantage of firewall, first is legitimate user restriction. Okay, yes, I said firewall prevent unauthorized access to your system from the network, but it is also can create considerable problem for your employee or co-workers. Okay, firewall policies can be very strict and can limit user from performing legitimate operation. This will lead to user begin utilizing backdoor exploit and will limit the firewall capability to secure your network. So, which authorized and unauthorized user are able to get around the normal security. Next one is diminished performance. Okay, firewall has software and hardware. Firewall, especially the software base, has capability to limit computer overall performance. Software firewalls constantly running and use processor power and RAM memory to perform their function. Therefore, they consume more the processing power and RAM resources and will lead to diminished system performance. But hardware firewall do not experience this issue as they do not rely on the host computer resources to function. And next is malware attacker. Okay, firewall capability to block the basic type of Trojan. It is proved to be defenseless against other type of fault. As I said that firewall could block the basic type of Trojan, right? Okay, and this type of malware can enter in the form of trusted data. So even if you have firewall, it is recommended to have an antivirus malware software to prevent this. And next is cost. It depends on the type of firewall you choose, either hardware firewall or software firewall. Hardware firewall is more expensive than software firewall because it requires installation and maintenance, which can be costly. That cannot be done with an expert IT employee. And last one is complex operation. Firewall definitely is not for large organization because it requires separate set of staff for operating them. When you have a large organization, it's difficult to have a firewall because you need more staff to operate them. Okay, so that's all from me. And that's all from us. Thank you.